Hey, what's up everyone? Today's video is gonna be something different, something that I haven't really done before, or I haven't seen any kind of videos doing this before for the FNF community and especially its music. Now I'm sure you guys know who Saruky is, but if you don't, then I'm gonna give you a brief summary. She's done a lot of music, her most popular tracks being from Hotline, the Cassette Girl mod, that one song from Indie Cross. But yeah, she's done a lot of music for FNF, and I wanted to break some of it down, especially this kind of musical signature that she adds to her music, which I'll get to right now. Now I'm gonna have to explain a bit of music theory. Now I'm not a professional at it, but I think I know enough to hopefully explain this well to you guys. Now it all kind of starts with this song called Plastic Love, which I really adore. Now I'm not sure if you guys have heard Plastic Love. I'm sure you have. It's a very popular song that really blew up in the West for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it just kind of did. But here, I'll play a little snippet of it. Now you're probably wondering why the hell I just played Plastic Love and what does this have to do with Saruky? A chord progression is the foundation of a song. It's a set of chords that you play in order, and that's what gives a song its, I guess, vibe. So like for example, Plastic Love uses the F major scale, which are these set of notes right here. I put them right here on the left hand side. I'll just play them real quick. Now these set of notes is what's called an F major scale, meaning that the song generally sounds kind of happy, bright, like this. Now these notes have names to them, well, numbers. Like this one right here, this is called the first, this is the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, the seventh, and then you go back to the first. So these two right here are the same. Now the order of these notes is what makes the chord progression. So like right here, I got what's called my fourth. So like if you count it over here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the fourth chord right here. This one would be the fifth, because if you count again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's the fifth note in the set of notes over here. So this one would be called the fifth, and it sounds like this. This one is called the third, and then lastly this one is called the sixth. Now if I play the song with the piano, it should all sound good. And then it goes a bit off sync because the song's kind of old. Alright, so like I said, this whole sequence of notes right here is what's called the Royal Road chord progression. I'm not exactly sure why it's called that, but it's very popular in Japan, mostly J-pop songs and a lot of anime openings. Alright, so enough rambling about this music nonsense bullshit. What does this have to do with Saruky? Alright, so Saruky likes to use this chord progression a lot, and I've got some examples right here and I'll go through them all. But the earliest example I could find is the song called Schizophrenia, or I think it's supposed to be in Spanish, Schizophrenia, like that. But this is like the earliest song I could find the use of this chord progression in. So I'll play the song real quick. You can find this on her SoundCloud. I'll of course leave links and stuff to all these songs in the description, so you can just go back and listen to them if you want. Alright, so if you look into the piano notes themselves, which I have a little thing right here, this actually uses what's the F sharp major scale. So these are the notes for them right here. And just like the other song, it follows that same order of the notes. You got the fourth right here, the fifth right here, the third, and then the sixth. Now if I play these all together, it should sound like this. Which is exactly the same as the Plastic Love song. Except this one's a bit slower, but they're exactly the same. So here it is with the piano. Now the only difference between that one and this one is this chord right here. This is the first, which kind of acts as a transition from this to this. So it goes like... That's really the only difference, but it's pretty much the same chord progression. Now right here is another example. This is Thunderstorm from the Shaggy mod, which I'll play right now. So yeah, just like Plastic Love and Schizophrenia, it's exactly the same. Alright, so here are the piano notes for Thunderstorm. It uses the A sharp major scale. So I'll play the notes real quick. Oh, and I'll get to why this one is here, but that'll be on the next one. But here, if I play this, it's exactly the same as the other ones, and here it is with the piano. Next up is Soda Groove from the Cassette Girl mod. Now this one is a bit different with its chords. It's still the same chord progression as the others, but there's a minor difference right here. So this one is the C major scale, which I'll play the notes real quick. Now there's a little extra something right here, this extra G sharp right here. So if I play this, now this extra note right here is what's called a passing tone, and kind of like its name implies, it's kind of this transition from one note to the other. So for example, like this G to this A, instead of going like this in a melody, you would go kind of like this. which kind of sounds weird on its own, but once you got the chords going on, it sounds better. So in Soda Groove, it's used a bit differently. It's kind of used as this way of making a chord more tense. So if I play the chord progression right here, it sounds more tense, like compared to the original, which would be this. Like this sounds nice and calming, but the way that it's placed right here, it gives it this kind of tension that moves really nicely to the next chord. So like this. It sounds really dramatic, kind of hero-ish, which I'm imagining is why it's called the Royal Road. It sounds very, very heroic. I'm not sure. It's just something you feel. So when I play Soda Groove right here, it has this kind of tense feeling. Alright, now next up is Final Stretch, which is where things start to get a bit more, I wouldn't say complicated, but a bit more complex. Now it still uses the same chord progression at the beginning, but it kind of deviates a bit. So you start off at the C sharp major scale, which are these notes right here. And then you also have this A right here as a passing tone. So the beginning is pretty standard, pretty close to the other ones I just showed. You got your fourth, the fifth, your third with the passing tone, and then your sixth right here. But then on the next part, it starts deviating a bit. So you start off right here with your fourth, then your fifth, but then right here, the fifth gets repeated, but a passing tone is used. So here, just use this note to highlight it a bit more. So yeah, right here, you got your regular fifth chord, but then you have it again, except this G sharp, except your G sharp is substituted by your passing tone, which is the A right here. And then it goes to the sixth, and then the sixth gets repeated. So all together, it would sound like this. So yeah, this is why this is called a passing tone. It just kind of goes from this to here. And this kind of weird sort of tension. It's very hard to explain, but you can feel it. You can feel the tenseness. Tenseness? I don't know. Is that a word? I don't know. But alright, so next up, Promenade. This one is also a bit different compared to the other ones. Here are the notes right here. You start off at a D sharp major scale, which are these notes right here. And then you got your passing tone, which is the B. Alright, so for this one, the order is a bit different. So usually you would start with your fourth and then your fifth, but instead it goes to the third, so it goes down. And then it goes to the sixth. And then the third gets repeated again. And then right here you got your third, your fourth, your sixth, and then your fifth. Alright, so all together now with the piano, it sounds like this. Alright, so lastly, right here we have Armageddon. Now this one's a special version. This one's the one from the CD. The original Armageddon doesn't have this chord progression, but I noticed in the Hotline CD one, it does. I'm not too sure why. It's just kind of thrown in there, but I guess it kind of works. But this one's pretty much the same as the other ones. There's nothing too special about this one. Yeah, I'm not too sure why that was just kind of thrown in there. It's very brief, but I guess it gives it like this kind of hopeful, kind of tragic sound, which kind of fits with Armageddon because it's the end of the world. Or I'm not too sure about the actual lore. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Saruky's work, and this chord progression is something that I kind of just noticed just by listening to her music. And I wanted to give a brief explanation as to what that sound was. That way, hopefully, it gets you kind of listening more to your favorite artists, kind of noticing these small details that they put in their music, why it sounds that way, why it makes you feel a certain way. But yeah, if you have any artists that you would like me to break down and do this kind of music theory stuff, leave it down in the description. I'll take a look. I'll listen to their stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching. And Saruky, if you're watching this, I absolutely love your stuff. And keep up the good work. And thank y'all for watching. And goodbye.